Hello everyone, Carlos Flores, back on basics. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. If you have a topic, a question, a suggestion, feedback, or if you want me to give you my take on any questions or any topics, put them in the comment section and I'll be happy to do so. If you want to connect with me on other social media outlets, you can connect with me on Facebook by typing in Carlos Flores Jr. You can connect with me on Instagram and on X by typing in at Back on Basics. And you can connect with me on Threads by typing in at Back on Basics or just Back on Basics. And you'll connect with both. So, let's talk about the power of the mind. I mean, you can go look at the shorts. They're a little bit concise. I try to put as much information as I can, but that's the reason why I do these larger videos, and I'm trying to stay within the 8 to 15 the most, but ultimately 12 minutes, so that way people can watch them and not spend a lot of time, and still get the gist of it, and still get all the points that they can use to choose or not choose to do what I'm suggesting. And again, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I mean, I love what I'm doing. This motivates me to do more videos every single time I do this. And so don't worry about it. If you use it, great. If you don't use it, great. It's fine. Again, that's what's expected. A lot of the times we tend to be inside our heads, and that has been the topic for this week. But we tend to get inside of our heads, and there's two ways that we can deal with that. Well, one of the states that we tend to get into, the first one is, it's the one where you're moving forward, the one where you're getting things done, the one that you have mind focused and you have body focused. Because remember, this is a supercomputer. I've said it many a times. I've said that this supercomputer can help you get to where you want to get to. I mean, it motivates you. It brings up memories based on smell, on taste, hearing, sight, touch. I mean, it's amazing, right? I mean, I can touch something and it just reminds me. Look, I'll give you an example. When I was small in El Salvador, I went into my aunt's backyard and I saw this big leaf, and I was curious. I was a little kid. I was like, what, 6, 7 maybe? I was a little kid. I took a bite of it, and it just I don't know if it numbed my tongue, or I don't know if my follicles in my tongue just reacted so overly, like big, that from then on, certain things that I taste or certain things that are unusual, right? And how does the brain know that those are unusual? Then those receptors in my tongue react. And then it went as far as, sometimes when I touch things, I can feel it. I can feel the receptors in my tongue just. And it's interesting because sometimes it's like a certain kind of paper, or it's a certain kind of leaf, and if I touch something that's close to the leaf that I took a bite of when I was little, oh my goodness gracious. It's like, all of these receptors are going. And I'm like, remember, right? My main two things that I use every single time, it's either taste or smell. When I cook, I smell it. And I taste it a little bit, but it's smell. That's what drives how I cook, is the smell. And that's the reason why I use things like, like turmeric powder. I use onions, which, that smell of onions when you fresh cut them. Oh my goodness gracious. And then I use things like black pepper, and that's more of a taste one, right? You can smell it, but it's more of a taste one. I also use, what else do I use? I use a number of things in there. And so it's amazing that one experience, one experience, right? Taking a bite out of, and I don't even remember the name of the plants, but taking a bite out of one of the leaves just created a memory like that, where my sensors, my receptors, and my tongue do that. And at first it was just, when I tasted something, it does that. But now even when I touch it, it's like it goes all the way to here, and it just alerts my receptors in my tongue, and it's kind of interesting. So I wanted to show you, I wanted to give you an example of how the mind is so important, because again, this is a supercomputer, and it's all written, it's all in here, right? It's all in here. The stuff, the bad stuff, the funny stuff, the love. I mean, again, right? Sometimes when we dream, it's something something gets activated, and so we have these dreams that sometimes we don't realize where we're at, or how we got there, or why we're dreaming what we're dreaming. But it's because your mind actually fired into one of the connections that brought up that dream. It's amazing, isn't it? You have a permanent, well, not permanent, I mean, but a hard drive that has so many different, I bet you it has millions or billions of memories that, and you know how the brain works, right? As you take something in, if you don't connect it with a memory tag, like I've been saying before, then the memory sometimes gets broken into different parts of your brain. So that way you have to fire in different directions in order to bring something up. That's the reason why I keep on telling you, or what I've been saying in previous videos. Have a memory, you have to connect it to a memory tag, because if and the memory tag could be a smell, a taste, anything that you saw, like another memory. They could be anything, right? Or a sound. So usually when I want to remember something complete, so I can bring it out right away, right? Then I connect it with like music. I connected with activities that I do. I connect with like games that I play. I connect with homework that I do. I connect with the grading that I do for my classes that I teach at University of Phoenix. So it's amazing what the mind does. But on the other side, the mind could also be kind of like a jail. When you're anxious, when you're worried, when you're sad, when you're mad, when you think that something has happened and you don't have all the pieces, right? As a human being, we fill in the blanks of that story with our memories, which is not good. And that's the reason why I keep on telling you that you have to use your support system, so that way your support system can actually help you flush out what's good and what's not, what's real and what has been imagined. Because again, there are billions and billions and billions of memories in here. And sometimes a little misfiring gets you a weird thought, a weird dream, or something like that. And so, but the brain can also, like I said, it can hold you back. It can slow you down. It can shut you down. People, I don't know if you have experience where you're just laying down in bed and it's morning, and you're either going to work or you're doing some other activity, and then you're not ready to go get up. You don't want to get up, but you have to. And the majority of us can actually push through by doing some activity, by thinking, right, about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. But there are some of us that can't get out of bed. There's some of us that don't want to get out of bed. There's some of us that we deal with mental health and issues, and we deal with the way that we think, but at the same time, it's our brains just trying to help us cope. That's the bottom line. But unfortunately, sometimes coping means negative things like not wanting to do it, or waiting to the last minute to do it, or not waiting until you get from the negative, right, automatic thought, to processing and getting to the positive. Sometimes we can't, and our brains just flood us with a lot of different memories. And some of these memories are not the best. And some of these memories makes us think twice. And some of these memories makes us just feel like we're not the best. We're not our best. And so I want you to understand that it's not you. Don't take it personally, because if you take it personally, that will attach to the way that your body's feeling, and the memories keep on coming. Believe me, when the waterworks, when that dam opens, it floods, and then there's a negative compounding effect, and then that's how people don't get out of bed. That's how people don't get out of their house. That's how people just do the things that they think are going to help them just be safe. That's when the fight or flight, remember in psychology, fight or flight syndrome? If that's where you're leaning towards flight, but at the same time, your mind is telling you no. So it's conflicted. So again, it feels like you're in jail. It feels like you're in mental jail. And we need to move forward from that. Because if we don't, then we won't get up, ladies and gentlemen. I've been there. When I got laid off, I've been there. I didn't want to get up because I was looking for a job. I was applying for temporary benefits that I would pay, out of pocket. It was not the best time for me. But I went through it and I learned so much. And you know what? This was during the pandemic. Believe me, we were all at home. That was the time that I said, I'm starting this YouTube channel, because if I'm going through this, I know that others are going through this. And I want you to understand that I'm here for you, that I'm here for you, that I'm here to give you the tools to different topics, so that way you're able to process, you're able to focus your mind, you're able to move forward, you're able to motivate yourself, you're able to do the things that you want to do. The have-tos, you're going to have to at some point. Unless you get to a point where your mind is just keeping you from doing things, but then those things have repercussions. If it's a have-to and you don't do it, there's repercussions. The want-tos, those are the ones that you want to do. Those are the ones that get you motivated to get up in the morning. Believe me. There's a fine line between being motivated by your thoughts and being stopped or slowed down by your thoughts. There's a thin line going down the middle to do that. We have to make sure that when we open our eyes and we try to get up, we think. We change our schema to positive thoughts, positive thinking, because you do. Guess what? You got up. A lot of people don't get up. A lot of people don't get up from sleeping. And so you got up. That's a huge positive, right? your breathing. That's a huge positive, right? You can move your limbs. That's a huge positive, right? And so you have to start changing the thinking here, so that way you can focus on the positive. So that way you can move forward and motivate yourself to get to where you want to get to. And that's getting up and doing the things that you need to do, or doing the things that you want to do. Again, we're going to help create muscle memory, because muscle memory helps you out. Because the first time it's hard. The second time when you try to do the same thing, it's going to work a little bit better, and so on and so on and so on, until you're up. Like for me, my mantra right now, again, I'm going to be a broken record. I am doing my best at every single day, with want to do activities and I have to do activities. Believe me, it's working. I'm building this momentum, and my mind hasn't been this clear in a long time. So again, right? Your mind, your mental capacity, your mental focus can either get you forward, moving forward, or can get you stuck and slow down or stopped, as if you were in mental jail. So remember, just focus on the positive. Build on small victories, right? Train your mind to push forward from the automatic negative thought. Because if you don't push forward from the automatic negative thought, then you'll stay there for a while, and then eventually you'll start believing that, even if it's not true. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new videos that come on board. Right? Your mind is so important, because it drives a lot of things that you do every day. Remember, balance your mind, balance your body. Make sure you do the things that you need to do, that you love doing, so that way you can get motivated and have those small victories, so you can do the things that you have to do. Till next time, Back on Basics.